Of course, I could only imagine she was reading and rereading my love letter that she confiscated from me during the summer. That was probably the most thrill she had had. I don't know what her life was like, but man, that note was something else. But at any rate, does anybody else have anything you want to say? Yeah, okay. Huh?
I need to make an apology to her. 15 years ago, I stole the mic from Jerry at our reunion. And Conka's sitting there, and I used the word prick. And I used it, I thought, I'm not trying to be funny here, but I thought I used it in the best way. You call somebody a prick, you know? Because I've always admired him. But my wife, Mary, doesn't know that. And so that night, she's going, you need to go apologize to him. And I said, well, he lives in Arizona. And I don't. And, you know, I didn't think it was a big deal, right? But she would keep saying, like every couple of months, do you call that Conka guy? And I said, no. And I drive all over. And I would say, well, I stopped and saw it down in Austin in Phoenix or something. Well, did you call that Conka guy? And I said, listen, it's not that big a deal. And she said, I think you offended a lot of people by using that word. Now I've used it twice more. And, but she said, I think you offended him. I mean, in front of, you know, there was a lot of people at that reunion. I know, so I'm looking for you to go ahead and reaffirm this. And so anyway, I came up here tonight because I thought I'd see her because she won't quit. And it's been 15 years and we've been married for 44 years, so the rest of the marriage is pretty good. But until I apologize in front of somebody, I'm not going to hear the end of this. You know what I mean? It just kind of just goes on and on. So if you see that Conka guy, you know, I haven't done this long without a cigarette for about 40 years. I'm having a hard time breathing. I'm going to fix that. But if you see that Conka guy, tell him I'm sorry.
So far, and excuse me on this if you want to hear something X-rated. The only one that wanted to prick the Ferretti so far today was Debbie Swan. She wanted one where they're in heat all the time, she said. So. For her animals, I mean, for her animals. So. Okay, does anybody else have anything before we wrap her up? Oh, I got my here. Start the timer there.
I'm not going to tell a bunch of stories. When I tell stories, we're sitting in a car bullshitting. And something comes to mind, I talk about it. But to come up with something, he asked me to talk here. I drove back to Wyoming last week and I was trying to think stuff. I really couldn't think much. But since Larry Loser is here, first to not make you feel real bad after I tell this, is I did teach economics a few years ago before I retired. And after chapter 1, I wondered what the hell I'd do the rest of the semester. What a boring class. And I was about as good a PE teacher as Larry was, so you know how hard of a time I had teaching the rest of that class. But one day in economics class, it was during the World Series, and Sharon Paper, you remember her? Yeah. Smarter than me, even, you know. She had Larry backed in the corner about half an hour. They were arguing about some economics point or whatever it was, philosophy, and Larry's stuttering away, looking for help. The rest of us are sitting there talking to the people around us. Those Sharon ain't letting up. If you know her, nice person, but when she wants to make a point, he wasn't smart enough to say, Yeah, you're right. And then about, I suppose, 15 minutes left in the class, I raised my hand finally, and he calls on me just like that. Stands where Sharon, you can't see Sharon paper anymore. And I said, Mr. Lauser, who do you think's going to win the World Series game tonight? And then the rest of the class, we talked about baseball, and Sharon's behind him. Well, the bell rang, everybody gets up and walks out, and I was close to one of the last people out, and he comes up to me and he says, "You're so enduring." He said, "Mush." And my teacher called him Mush. He says, "Mush, how come you didn't raise your hand earlier?" And I just winked at him and I go, "Had to let you suffer, bro." Dreadful class. On your story about Mrs. Potter, I was going to say something about that. I don't know. I seem to remember being in a morning class. Did you say she hit the floor once in your class? I think she went, okay, I was there. Did she go down with legs spread? And there, I'll back them up on that. There wasn't a peep in the class. We were scared to laugh, weren't we? That's all I'm going to bore you with.
Okay, that's about it. First of all, good story there. We want to thank Barb Semron and I imagine Mrs. Semron for putting that up on the board there. It's a really interesting thing to look at. I like Mrs. Potter because she passed me and made me a senior in high school, so you guys lay off Mrs. Potter. Does anybody else have anything? The bar's open until 10. And anybody else have anything? Pardon? They told me it's open till 10, but whatever.
Unless you keep drinking, maybe.
What? Okay, unless you quit drinking, then it'll be late.
Could be later.
That's what I mean. It could be late. I did ask her, and she said 10. We got something, Daryl?
Yeah.
Daryl's the only guy that can make Big Ole look small. I can only imagine what he does to me.
I was given a revelation today that I'm 17% of taking reunions. This is my first reunion in 45 years. If I wait 45 years to come to another reunion, I don't know. That's probably not a very good result there. But, I do want to say that I've been living in South Dakota for most of my adult life, and I raised my family there. We're going to the golf today out at the old country club, the bar. It's like I went in at 11:30 and there was a group of old people there. Mostly women except for Jeff Gray. I thought, man, you lucky guy. But anyway, there was only two that I recognized, Cheryl Hoffel and Judy Biegler. They look like the same they did the last day of high school I saw. I know you all look good. And I do have a story about high school. Everybody knows I ran around with Bjorny a little bit. One time I was telling them earlier tonight, we were up at the hotel up there in North Hill, Ramada. I don't know what we were doing there, but we came over there in the fall. And I was ready to go north on Broadway. He said, "No, chase that car, that's Judy." So right away I gunned it trying to catch up to that car. And here comes Dennis Perry on the highway, and he ran right into me. And, but anyway, Keith finally caught his girl. But it's nice to see all you folks, and hope I make it to another one in 5 years.
Okay, Doug has a Christian rap. It sounds like something from a Mexican restaurant, but I assume it'll be a pretty good Christian rap here. So come on up, and unless anybody else has anything.
I'm really nervous. Should I do it or no?
Yeah.
All right. So, to tell you how this came about is that at the middle school that I work at, there's always a year-end talent show. And these kids were singing about Jesus, and I said, I got to get in on this action, but I can't sing, I can't play. What am I going to do? And I realized that rap is such an interesting form of communication that these kids can relate to. And so I started praying about it, and I know one Sunday or Saturday afternoon, I prayed about it, and I just went to my computer and I wrote down about 6 pages of rough draft. And one thing I found is that you might write it out, but when you say it, it doesn't come across the same way. And I just wanted to do it. I'm not a ham. I just wanted to do it to talk about Jesus in a public school and not get arrested. Amen? Amen. So I'll give you the short version. So Jesus, he's the one and only blessed potentate wanting you to walk through that pearly gate. Now don't you hesitate. Don't you be late for your glorious eternal fate. You might be chilling, but God might not be willing, depending upon what you're grilling, because I was running the rail, drinking the ale, laying in the shale with an empty pail in the belly of the whale. Drugs and alcohol was setting up my fall, and I call it on Jesus. And he took my habit because I couldn't grab it. The King of Glory changed my story without a glitz, glitter, or even a twitter. He changed me from sinister to minister, and I told the devil, I'm done being your homie. I'm finished being diminished with your phony baloney, and I'm going to give Jesus a standing ovation for his salvation to change my situation from desperation to emancipation. And it's a reality that God's gravity pulled me out of the devil's depravity, and he changed me from sinister to minister. You give him a call, he doesn't want anybody to fall, and that is straight up, y'all.
I need some beats.